You ever feel like getting the exact information you need from AI is like, panning for gold? Lots of sifting for just that tiny nugget.
Oh, absolutely. It's a real challenge sometimes. You get pages of text, but maybe not quite the answer you were looking for.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into a method to refine AI-generated text, basically turning that digital flood into precisely what you're after and, importantly, quickly.
Right.
Our mission, really, is simple. Understand how you can efficiently tailor that AI output so you get the valuable insights without, all the time-wasting extras.
And what's really interesting here, I think, is the active role you can take. It's not just about taking what the AI gives you initially.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at a pretty straightforward approach based on our sources that puts you back in the driver's seat through, well, a kind of refinement process.
Okay, so where do we start? What's the first step?
Well, the first key thing is realizing you can actually edit the prompt after the AI gives you its first shot.
Oh, okay. So not just before you hit generate.
Exactly. Think of it like a feedback loop. The AI shows its work, and you get to say, okay, close, but maybe try this instead.
Our source mentions something about an editable box.
Yeah, that's the spot. It's your direct line to sort of steer the AI after its initial response.
So it's more than just fixing a typo in the original request.
Oh, much more. It's about refining your actual request based on what the AI came back with. If
Yeah.
it was too broad or maybe missed the point slightly,
Gotcha.
that editable box lets you guide it more precisely. You're sort of evolving your question to get a better answer.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. But just changing the words isn't the whole story, is it?
No, and this is crucial. The second step our source really highlights is saving those edits.
Right.
You have to deliberately click that save button. It's not automatic. It locks in your changes.
So it's like telling the AI, okay, this is the refined request I want you to focus on now.
Precisely. And that deliberate save action, it's really essential for efficiency. It stops the AI from just, continuing down the path of the first, maybe less focused prompt.
Stops it wandering off.
Yeah, stops it wandering. You're saying focus here on this version.
Yeah, and there was an example in the source material, wasn't there, to show how effective this can be.
Yes, a really good one. They apparently took an initial AI output of around 1,200 words.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
It is. But by going through this process, editing that prompt, refining it, and hitting save, they managed to whittle it down to about 500 words.
That's less than half. That's a huge reduction.
It really is. And think about what that means. You're getting the core information much, much faster.
So it's not just about making it shorter, it's about making it more relevant, too.
Exactly. The 1,200 to 500 isn't just trimming fat. It's about the AI better understanding and actually addressing your specific need because you guided it.
Okay, so tying this all together then, what's the big benefit for you listening?
Well, it's fundamentally a more direct path to the information you actually want.
Right, less wading through irrelevant stuff.
Yes. By taking that maybe small amount of extra time to tweak the prompt and save it, you're basically creating a much more efficient, targeted way to get information.
You're kind of sidestepping that feeling of being overwhelmed by just loads of text that isn't quite right.
I think the real takeaway here is that shift in mindset from passively just accepting whatever the AI spits out
Yeah.
to actively shaping it. You become less of a recipient and more of a collaborator in getting the information right.
A collaborator, I like that, ensuring it really hits the mark for what you need.
And that iterative loop, generate, review, edit, save, lets you pull out exactly what's valuable much more efficiently.
So the bottom line is, don't just take the first answer. Get in there, use that editable prompt, refine it based on what you see, and then remember to hit save.
You might actually be quite surprised how much more focused and, frankly, useful the AI's next response becomes.
Definitely worth trying.
Which sort of leads to a final thought for you to maybe mull over.
Okay.
How often do you actually go back and refine your AI prompts after you see the first results? Just think for a moment about how proactively shaping those requests, even slightly, could streamline things for you.
Yeah, cutting down on that search time.
Exactly. What specific questions that you ask regularly could you maybe refine upfront or after that first attempt to get much more impactful answers straight away? Something to consider.